Juang Tambun Building is a historical site located in South Tambun District, Bekasi Regency, West Java, Indonesia. Currently, the Juang Tambun Building functions as the Bekasi Museum, which is managed by the Bekasi Regency government. This building was formerly known as Landwis Tambun, which is known as the tall building by local residents. This building was built by 𝑘𝑜ng, a landlord who has a large chance plantation. 𝑘𝑜ng bought Landwis Tambun through to state the construction of the first phase of this building took place from 1906 to 1910. Then the second phase of construction took place in 1925. After 𝑘𝑜ng died, this building was passed on to his son named 𝑘𝑜ng until 1942. In 1942, during the Japanese occupation of Indonesia, lands and the private land of Tambun were confiscated from the 𝑘𝑜ng family and made into Japanese military headquarters. During the War of Independence against the Dutch, Gedung Juang fortified Bekasi was used as a place of defense by freedom fighters based in the Cibarusah area, including the Mujahideen Mosque in Cibarusah. In 1940 until 1945, the Japanese army occupied this building and made it one of the centers of military strength. After Japan withdrew from Indonesia in 1945, the Indonesia National Committee used the Juang fortified Bekasi Building as the office of the Jatinegara Regency, which is now the Bekasi Regency area. Now, we want to explore this building, but before entering this museum, we have to implement a health protocol to break the chain of the COVID-19 virus. After that, you will be directed to the receptionist for data registration. The Juang Tambun Building, which has been designated as a cultural heritage building, is now being managed by the Bekasi District government as a museum. After the renovation were completed, in early 2021, the name of the Juang Tambun Building was changed to the Bekasi Digital Museum. Inside, the two-story building displays the history of Bekasi Regency from the colonial period to independence. Information available at the Gedung Juang Tambun Museum is displayed digitally and interactively, with the aim of being able to more easily reach the millennial generation. At the entrance to the museum, you will be presented with the history of the leaders Bekasi district, which is equipped with many status as well information from these leaders, which are packaged in digital from in videos. In this digital information, we can find all the background of the Bekasi district leader. After that, the next room is presented with the history of prehistoric times. In terms of history, human life is divided into two periods of time or periodization, namely prehistoric times and historical times. Prehistoric is a time when humans did not know writing. Prehistory starts from the formation of the earth to the emergence of humans. Expressed in the Eurasian region, Europe and Asia, divide prehistoric times into three periodization, or the so-called their age system, while the prehistoric era in Indonesia is divided into two eras, namely the Stone Age and the Metal Age.
Metal Age is a time when humans are able to make tools from metal to support daily activities. In the Metal Age, humans are said to have developed technology quite well, because metal cannot be broken and carved as easily as when humans make tools from stone. Humans process and shape metal materials into various tools. This proves that humans have been familiar with metal smelting techniques since then. The Metal Age is also called the Age of Rundagian because in society there are groups of undagi who are expert in their respective fields.
Stone Age is the period that took place when humans created stone tools to meet the needs of life. In addition to stone, there are several tools used, such as wood, bone, and whatever objects are used for cutting tools and weapons.
The Bekasi area, based on some historical evidence in the form of the Tugu, Curatan, Muara Jantan, Kebun Kopi, Jambu, Pasir Awi, and Cidangyang inscription, is thought to have been one of the center of the Tarumanagara kingdom. At that time, Maharaja Punawarman had excavated two rivers, namely the Chandrabaga River and the Gomati River, which indicated the opening of fertile agricultural land in this area. The Tarumanagara kingdom began to collapse around the 7th and 8th centuries due to attacks by the Sriwijaya kingdom. After that came the kingdom of Pajajaran, which had a considerable influence on the Bekasi area. Bubat Pasunda. During the Galuh Kingdom period, a Bubat incident occurred which started with King Hayam Wuruk's desire to marry Dyah Pitaloka. The daughter of Prabu Linggabwana, then Dyah Pitaloka, and other royal officials went to Majapahit by walking along the Cimanuk River. Arriving at the mouth of the river, the group continued their journey to Majapahit by sea. After being met, Mahapati Gajah Mada was ordered by the Queen Mother of Majapahit to accept Dyah Pitaloka as an offering, not as empress. This action was rejected by Prabu Linggabwana because his daughter's marriage to King Hayam Wuruk was a grand marriage. As a result, the royal entourage of Galuh was attached by the elite Majapahit troops. Prabu Linggabwana, Dyah Pitaloka, and other royal officials were killed. And the next room is a room that content show in digital form. In front of me was a projection device, a white curved screen, and in fact, it was quite crowded there. Finally, I had the courage to follow the tour guide direction, and unexpectedly, I could enter into the story of the Tarumanagara kingdom in reality, in real time. The visitors who saw it also lined up to try the augmented reality, and we will continue with other rooms. After finishing walking around the first floor, we went up to the second floor. On this floor, there is a story that discusses 𝑯𝑰𝑨𝑵 trade. What are 𝑯𝑰𝑨𝑵? 𝑯𝑰𝑨𝑵 is a trading partnership of the Dutch East India Company in the year 1602. The 𝑯𝑰𝑨𝑵𝑏 was a trading alliance from the Netherlands with monopoly trading activities in Asia.
The purpose of the formation of the 𝑯𝑰𝑨𝑵 in order to avoid unfair competition between group partnerships in the Netherlands that existed previously, strengthen the position of the Netherlands in competing with traders or another venues from other countries.
Causes of the collapse of the 𝑉OC. First, 𝑉OC monopoly system with disastrous consequences, because the Dutch government did not pay attention to indigenous peoples the archipelago. Indigenous people were getting poor and ignorant. They could not even afford the goods produced by the Dutch. Not infrequently, the Indonesian population could not afford to buy the food that had been sold by the Dutch. Secondly, ineffective and efficient way of working. The government budget for the entire 𝑉OC area exceeded the profits made. This is due to the large number of employees who commit fraud for personal gain. Next is trade competition. At that time, British traders and Asian traders could enter the 𝑉OC trading area. The prices of goods were offered at lower prices, thus endangering Dutch trade.
The second floor does not only contain 𝑉𝑰𝑨𝑵's history, but there is a lot of history that discusses various statues, paintings, but monuments, the complete story of Pitung, and is invited to a comfortable studio showing the beginning of the story during the struggle in various local areas. Furthermore, this museum discusses the national movement, which is a term used to refer to a phase in Indonesian history, namely the period of struggle for independence. Entering 1908 was the initial year of struggle carried out by the people with a national vision or goal. In that year, the people began to carry out movements that were carried out to oppose the colonials who were still regional in nature. The emergence of awareness with national ideals accompanied by the birth of a modern organization since 1908 signifies the birth of a revival with a different spirit. This mass movement aims to stem the desire of the colonials who want to reinstill their power in Indonesia. The presence of the national movement organization is a reflection of a sense of dissatisfaction and disapproval of the very apprehensive state of society.
The period of the national movement in Indonesia was marked by the establishment of movement organization. The period of the national movement year 1908 to 1942 was divided into the following three steps.
Another amazing thing right in the last room is the virtual reality of the Bekasi people's resistance. As the name implies, virtual reality spaces are filled with two-dimensional screens to interact with computer-simulated imagination. Where did the room take us to feel how the situation was when the Bekasi people's resistance took place? All parts of the walls this museum are filled with story warriors, real stories, paintings, map of Bekasi, prehistoric items, and much more. Interestingly, near the big wall, there is a digital book that displays some video, and if it's big, it's turned over, it will continue another story.